Tonight on WTOP-10 Nightly News, Residents Life and Housing will be hosting a furniture fair next month.
And Oswego Health will be partnering with the Lobdell family to bring mental health and suicide training to Pulaski schools.
Plus, former President Donald Trump is on trial.
WTOP-10 Nightly News starts now.
Good evening and thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Kyle Spizak.
And I'm Aurora Fitzgerald.
Residents Life and Housing is inviting students and faculty to attend their furniture fair on November 1st and 2nd. Your feedback is encouraged as the event will give students and staff the opportunity to see prospective common area furniture from different national vendors.
Feedback from the event will guide the Res Life office when they look to purchase new furniture for lounges within the residence halls. The furniture fair will take place in the Marano Campus Center overlook and will run from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Wednesday the 1st and Thursday from 10 a.m. until 2:30 p.m.
Oswego Bar and Nightclub The Ferris Wheel will reopen tonight after an unexpected notice of closure sign from the Oswego County Health Department was placed on their front door. WTOP-10 reached out to the Oswego County Health Department as well as the Ferris Wheel, but have not received any more information regarding the closure.
Oswego Health, in partnership with the Lobdell family, is bringing a renowned mental health expert, Dan Reidenberg, to Pulaski Central School District to train the district on mental health and suicide. The Lobdell family, originally from Pulaski, made a donation of $1 million to Oswego Health in memory of their son, Rusty, who had schizophrenia and took his own life. Together, Oswego Health is raising awareness around mental health and providing evidence-based programs and community-wide prevention training.
As Halloween is creeping around the corner, what weather can we expect for this week's Halloween weekend?
Let's take a first look at your forecast outside of the Marano Campus Center with Storm Team 10 meteorologist Andre Kripkowski. Will the sky turn black like a perfect storm this weekend, Andre?
With Halloween weekend starting tonight, it is important that students take the right steps to stay safe this weekend. I talked with Seneca RA Olivia Scalise about how students can stay safe.
Today, Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer posted a tweet to X today saying, quote, "We met today with the families of hostages being held by Hamas. Their stories break our hearts," end quote. He says the Senate will keep doing everything to secure and release the hostages in Hamas.
Judge Arthur Engoron, who is overseeing the ongoing civil fraud trial of former President Donald Trump, upheld a $10,000 fine he imposed on Trump for outside of the courtroom comments this morning. Engoron announced the decision today, an hour after Trump's attorney asked to reconsider the fine, claiming it was unconstitutional and against the First Amendment. Trump's comments came after he was fined $5,000 last week for posting Engoron's clerk on Truth Social, but the former president claims he was referring to his former attorney, Michael Cohen. On Wednesday night, a mass shooting took place in Lewiston, Maine, leaving 18 people dead and at least 13 people injured. Authorities are still searching for the suspect.
NYPD officials say while Carr does not appear to be have any connections to the city, they remain vigilant nonetheless. New York City Police Commissioner Edward Cabin says the NYPD has been working to make sure city residents stay safe.
Our mission is to always protect New Yorkers, and that's exactly what we were going to do. Once a video of the suspect emerged, it wasn't long before authorities identified a person of interest. We took that person's image and sent out an alert to every smartphone in our department. Lewiston is approximately 5 hours away from New York City by car. So with each passing hour, we also had our duty to ensure we had appropriate resources at the ready should the suspect somehow turn up here.
Cabin noted that increased vigilance following the incident in Maine comes at a time of increased tensions in many parts of the city over the war in Israel and Gaza.
Welcome to New York. It's been waiting for you to live there. The owners of the Flatiron office building located in the heart of Manhattan says the building will be converted into luxury condos starting this week. Dean Amro, one of the principals at the Brodsky organization, says the project reflected, quote, our confidence in New York coming back even stronger than before, end quote. After getting approval from the Department of City Planning, the owner says the alterations are expected to take roughly 3 years. The owners have not yet planned an exact layout and the number of residents are to be determined.
And still ahead tonight, a suspect has been identified in the mass shooting that left 18 people deceased.
Plus, a federal judge has ordered new congressional and state legislative maps in Georgia. Coming up on Nightly News.
Say, President Stanley, whenever there's bad weather, who would you turn to?
I'd turn to Storm Team 10.
No,
right
but you've
here.
got to say it like this. Storm Team 10. Say it with me. Storm Team 10.
What's going on?
Yeah, dude, we go on at like 11:30. It's like,
No.
what do you mean no?
It's 10:30.
10:30?
Yeah, it's 10:30.
What do you mean it's 10:30?
Hey, don't touch that. That's my ladder.
Hey, man.
Whoa. Did you know this book was already discounted 10%?
Wow.
Wow.
Get a close up with that one. Matthew.
Broadcast news.
Look at that.
Can we go back inside? I want to sleep in the studio again.
Dew point is 59 degrees, and we have a low pressure, 1,000 millibars. It is the visibility is pretty high tonight, with 10 degrees. And Charleston sunrise will be at 7:34 a.m.
Looking around the state tonight, it's cloudy all around the whole state with more clouds near Buffalo and Albany. Worse clouds around Indian Lake and Watertown. Having a look at tonight, it is going to be cloudy all night in like the mid to low 60s. Breezy in the morning, leading us into Friday with a cool 61 degrees and cloudy. Tomorrow's daily planner will be we're going to have a taste of summer with 71 degrees on the high, 59 is the low. Mostly cloudy with a slight chance of rain. Southwest winds 5 to 10 miles per hour, leading us into the weekend with almost a little bit of rain and nice weather. Here's our 7-day forecast. So we're looking at about like 71 degrees, like I said yesterday, for tomorrow, and then the weekend will be mostly rainy with 62 degrees here and 48. Going into the next week, it'll be mostly rainy, and then around Wednesday or Thursday, there is a chance of snow with a low of 33 degrees. And then Thursday, we'll have a high of 49 and low of 33, getting into that real fall weather going to the start of November. All right, that's it. Back to the desk.
An off-duty officer in Jackson, Mississippi was struck and killed a man earlier in the spring. 37-year-old Dexter Wade was killed on the night of March 5th. His mother, Bernstein Wade, had filled out a missing persons report more than a week later on March 14th.
However, she says police finally told her about Dexter's death in late August. She says Dexter did not have an ID on him at the time of the fatal accident, but she says he did have a prescription bottle with his name on it and believes his fingerprints should have been in the system since he is a convicted felon. Betterson also says she found out that Dexter was buried at a pauper's cemetery.
That was cold to what they did to me, to take my child and put him in a pauper field and didn't give me the opportunity to give him a proper burial.
Betterson says she recently paid the $250 needed to claim her son's body. In a statement, the city of Jackson says their investigation into the incident found no malicious intent by any Jackson police staff.
Right now, a mass shooting suspect is at large in Maine. An urgent and extensive manhunt is underway for the suspect, who authorities say opened fire in 2 locations, killing at least 18 people and injured more than a dozen. Mike Valerio is in Lewistown with the latest.
I suggest that you go. We have an active shooter, and we're not sure where he's at.
A tight-knit community on edge, a shelter-in-place ordered in multiple towns in Maine as heavily armed officers search for what they say is an armed and dangerous killer.
There is now arrest warrants for murder for this particular individual, Mr. Card. So he is viewed as a suspect, and there is a full court press by all of our partners to bring him into custody.
Police advise that Maine people should not approach him under any circumstances.
Chilling surveillance images released show the moments the mass shooting suspect's deadly rampage began. First at a local bowling alley hosting a youth night for a kids' bowling league, and then traveling about 4 miles to the second scene at a restaurant.
Place to go have a good time and have fun. And then we get somebody that's crazy like that walk in and do what they did, you know.
I never thought I'd grow up and get a bullet in my leg. Like, why do people do this?
According to law enforcement, the suspect, 40-year-old Rob Card, is a military-trained arms instructor who suffers from several mental health issues, including hearing voices, and made threats to shoot up a National Guard base. He'd been committed to a mental health facility over the summer.
Nerves are rattled right now.
In Lewiston, Maine, I'm Mike Valerio.
Federal, state, and local officials are still searching for the suspect, Robert Card. This is a developing story. We will have more information in the coming weeks on WTOP-10 Nightly News.
U.S. District Judge Steve Jones ruled earlier today that some of the Georgia's congressional, state Senate, and state House districts were drawn in racially discriminatory manner. In a 516-page order, the judge ordered that the state to draw an additional black-majority congressional district, also ordering the state to draw 2 new districts in Georgia's Senate and 5 new districts in the State House. The judge wrote in a footnote that his order, quote, in no way states or implies that the General Assembly or Georgia's Republicans are racist, end quote.
Hurricane Otis slammed into southern Mexico overnight as a Category 5 storm making landfall near the resort town of Acapulco. It was the strongest storm on record to hit the country's Pacific coast. Tens of thousands of families sought refuge in shelters, and at least 27 people were reported deceased. But the full extent of the damage and injuries still remains unclear due to the storm knocking down the country's communication networks. There has been very little information given, and we will have more information as the story develops.
Roughly 900 American troops are being deployed to the Middle East to bolster U.S. force protection in the region. Pentagon spokesman Brigadier General Pat Ryder made the announcement Thursday. The developing units will be from Fort Bliss, Fort Cavos, Fort Sill, and Fort Liberty. Ryder stressed the troops will not be going to Israel. The news of the deployment comes as intelligence shows Iranian-backed militia groups are planning to ramp up attacks against U.S. forces in the Middle East.
And when WTOP-10 nightly news continues, daylight savings is approaching. What symptoms you might need to be on the lookout for.
And mortgage rates are on the rise. What you need to know coming up after the break.
And it could be your last chance to see one occur for 2 decades, as the next time one will be visible over the continental U.S.
He's May 84. Yarrow told police in the hospital that he had pressed the doorbell and waited.
They mix with oxygen and nitrogen and become briefly
What's going on?
Yeah, dude, we go on at like 11:30. It's like,
No.
what do you mean no?
It's 10:30.
10:30?
Matt, it's 10:30.
What do you mean it's 10:30?
Hey, don't touch that. That's my ladder.
Hey, man.
Whoa. You know this book was already discounted 10%?
Wow. Get a closer to that one. Matthew,
Broadcast news.
Look at that.
Can we go back inside? I want to sleep in the studio again.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move, so I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day, I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
In consumer news, today the Commerce Department reported that the U.S. economy grew at a rate of 4.9% in the third quarter, higher than the second quarter's 2.1% and faster than economy experts, which was a 4.3% rate. The quarter three rapid rate of expansion comes despite interest rates standing at the highest level in 22 years. The growth was filled by robust consumer spending, which is a sign of economic resilience despite tough borrowing costs and high inflation.
Mortgage rates continued on an upward trend last week amid stronger than expected economic activity. Freddie Mac data shows the 30-year fixed rate mortgage, which averaged 7.79% this week. That is up 7.63% from last week. Last year, it was just over 7%. The recent numbers mark the 7th week in a row that mortgage rates continue to climb to 8%. That is the longest consecutive rise since last spring.
Every 40 seconds in the U.S., someone has a stroke. Health experts say people can avoid one by living a healthy lifestyle. In today's Health Minute, Mandy Geither has 9 simple steps to prevent strokes.
It's a leading cause of death and serious long-term disability in the U.S.
Stroke is actually much more common than we think.
Every 3 minutes and 14 seconds, someone dies of stroke in the U.S., according to the CDC. But addressing 9 risk factors can help prevent most strokes. It starts with keeping blood pressure in check. A healthy lifestyle and limiting salt intake to less than 2 grams per day can help. Diabetes is another risk factor. Control it with glucose-lowering medications, says Dr. Sidoni Abrikji, a neurologist at Cleveland Clinic.
What we like to target in diabetic patients is a hemoglobin A1C of around 7%.
Next, Abrikji says to control high cholesterol by taking statins or other medications. Fourth, be aware of atrial fibrillation, a risk factor for stroke that causes an irregular heartbeat.
They have to be on a strong blood thinner known as anticoagulation.
Getting sleep apnea treated is also key. Those suffering from the condition stop breathing for short periods during the night.
The main ways to prevent sleep apnea are weight loss, but also using a CPAP machine if it's moderate to severe.
Cut out smoking and limit alcohol intake to 1 drink or less a day. Both are major risk factors for stroke, as is what you eat. Abrigshi recommends a diet rich in fruits and veggies, nuts, and lean protein. And finally, get your heart rate up at least 4 times a week for 20 to 30 minutes a day. For Health Minute, I'm Andy Gaither.
The American Stroke Association says people don't know about the warning signs that signal a stroke. They include arm weakness and slurred speech. If anyone is experiencing signs of a stroke, call 911.
It is almost time for change, and that could be a literal headache. Most of the U.S. falls back an hour when daylight saving times begins on November 5th. An expert from the University of California says that it is hard on the body. He says it is a good idea to have migraine or painkiller meds on hand for headaches. Other issues include seasonal affective disorder and sleep cycle disruptions. To help, he suggests exercise, morning time outside, and light therapy.
And coming up in sports is Jolie Santiago.
Jolie, can you give us a quick preview?
Sure can, Aurora and Kyle. This weekend is a wave of live sports, so stay tuned for more after the break.
I know kids worry about a lot of things. Getting enough food to eat shouldn't be one of them. Through a nationwide network of food banks, Feeding America serves virtually every community in the United States. See how you can help your community. Visit feedingamerica.org.
Did you know dragging chains can spark a wildfire?
Only you can prevent wildfires.
We're here for you, we're here for you. This is your channel 2. With sports and news and what to do, we're here for you. It's your TV, you're watching WTOP. Your TV, thanks for watching WTOP.
La 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 la. Free. La 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 la. La 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 la. Freeze.
Hi guys, welcome back to WTOP-10 Nightly News. I'm here to give you your local sports report. So you know it's fall sports wrapping up and winter sports are just starting, so it's a great opportunity to get double opportunity to go to those games, get those live sports in. So without further ado, we got women's volleyball. They're hoping to have a block party at Laker Hall this Friday, so tomorrow, and Saturday. They're going against SUNY Brockport tomorrow night at 6, and then they take on SUNY Geneseo on Saturday at 1 p.m. Lakers are 3-4 in the SUNYAC, making them 6th, while Geneseo is 3rd, and Brockport follows behind in 4th with 19 sets won in the conference alone. Lakers are hoping to scare off the competition this spooky season and throw off the standings for playoffs that are less than just 2 weeks away. It's crazy to think that we're already wrapping up the season. But next up, we have the Paula Radcliffes of Oswego, the Lakers women and men's cross-country teams. They are actually heading to the SUNYAC Championships this Saturday. The 2023 championship will be held in Fortin Park in Oneonta, where the weather is actually a mix of like sunshine and clouds. I know Andre knows a lot about this, but it's not looking like bad weather. So I hope the best for them as they go on in their first time trying to go for the first place win of the season. So it's very exciting for them. But when head coach Juan Martinez was asked about the women's team and how they were going to be, he said, "Our goal is to finish in the top 5. We should be in the mix the whole race. Our top 3 women will set the tone for us and determine our standing." But then coach added a strategy for the guys, saying, "I would like to see 5 guys under 28 minutes. They have to be smart, patient, and run as a group to pull each other along under that mark. If we do that, we'll be pleased with our team placing." And that's really awesome because these are the people that are going to be running in the SUNYAC Championships in Oneonta this weekend. They're right up there. You got Faith Coyle, really popular name out there, and trying to win home some gold. But Oswego's relying on Ellie Decker and Faith Cole for the women's. And for the men's, it's Miguel Tineo Reyes, Andrew Deming, Leon Buckroth, Henry Rose, and Matthew Piatzak. They're predicted to win for the Lakers. And you know, a fun fact here, top 5 finishers in each race are automatic selections for the SUNYAC Cross Country Hall of Fame. What a nice honor. Top 15 finishers in each race will earn all SUNYAC honors. Now, coming back to the Deb, let's talk about it. We got a game tomorrow. It's a men's game, teal night, so you're going to be out there with your teal on. If you don't have anything, you can get a ribbon. But I will be actually an analyst at the perch, so make sure to watch on WTOP-10 TV on YouTube. The link is right there, and you'll be able to watch SUNY Oswego Lakers go against Hobart College. Hobart is a very popular team, and it's a good game, so you don't want to miss out on this one. Thanks, guys. Back to the desk.
Thank you, Jolie, and stick around for more news coming up right after the break.
Say, President Stanley, whenever there's bad weather, who would you turn to?
I'd turn to Storm Team 10.
No, but you've got to say it like this. Storm Team 10. Say it with me. Storm Team 10.
Roll it.
Jill told me it was Kitty from Glee. Yeah, what is it?
It's Al Roker.
Welcome back to WTOP-10 Nightly News. Do you know about a woman who has inspired you to think differently? Well, the Smithsonian wants to hear about it.
The Smithsonian Institution is looking for exhibits for its upcoming American Women's History Museum.
Anyone can submit a woman's story to be included, and the exhibit is set to be open in March in digital form only.
And a physical location is also being planned. However, that's going to take at least 10 years. Dang.
It's quite a bit of time.
Yeah.
10 years.
That's a while.
Yeah.
But you know it's not 10 years away. Halloween weekend. Talking of which,
Yes, oh my
a big
goodness.
weekend. So what's the weather going to be like out this weekend? What can we expect?
pretty not great this weekend. You know, we're expecting a lot of rain and some cooler weather, like mid to upper 40s. You know, low 50s. Lots and lots of rain. Maybe next week, you know, we'll see some like sleet, snow showers. Hopefully not too much snow, but yeah, mid to upper 40s.
Awesome. And Aurora, as we know, a huge hockey game coming in Friday. Jolie, you prefaced it a little bit. The reigning champs of Hobart are coming in to face the Lakers. Walk me through that real quick.
Most definitely, yeah. It's going to be an intense game. Two really good teams going head to head. You know, SUNY Oswego just had 2 exhibitions, so they're really looking to take it home against Hobart.